And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Hello, everybody. Once again, this is not Brandon Rhymes. This is Ian Beckles. I filled in for Brandon Rhymes, I believe it was last week, and it's my pleasure to do that again. Brandon's taking care of his business, finishing things up with his marriage over there. Again, he got married in Costa Rica. Congratulations to Brandon. And he's hanging out, eating some of that absolutely delicious pineapple and different types of fruits in Costa Rica. For those of you that have been there before understand what I'm talking about. The fruit are just fantastic there. Anyways, I'm going to be holding it down today, and we have two fabulous guests here. It's kind of a sausage fest, but that's okay. We're going to get by with it. We have Mr. William Crowley in the house. What up, dude? You doing all right?
What up, Big Daddy? I'm back, man. I'm back in the house.
You are back in the house,
Yeah,
and you're such a regular that Mr. John Gaston over here has a special candy drawer for you.
That's right.
You must be a big deal over here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you got your own candy drawer. Congratulations. And we have Connor Keller over here, who has a very interesting job in general, messes with insects.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to be here, and love my job, love what I do, and love talking about it.
No doubt. Did you get some candy?
I did.
Congratulations.
I found that secret stash.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. You got to wrestle William for some candy. Yeah, that's the way it goes. All right, let's tackle William Crowley, the credit magician.
That's it, baby. Credit magician on the radio, credit man in the hood.
You got tricks.
Oh yeah, tricks and everything.
Well, let's see the trick.
Let's go for it.
What do you
All
got?
right. Well, since I haven't been here actually about a month this time. I'm usually in here more regularly, but I'm going to talk to I'm talking to the new audience today, and I'm going to go over the basics of the credit industry and try to help you to understand how to really expose it. How much time do I got in?
Well, you got about 10 minutes. But
10? Okay,
we want you to cut it up in segments, but you got a good 10 minutes to get it out there. You got to let me speak a little bit.
All right, baby. Well, let's start out with this Fair Credit Reporting Act, which most people aren't familiar with. A lot of times, people, when they have bad credit, they immediately think, let me enter some type of debt consolidation or consumer credit counseling program or file bankruptcy. And they overlook this law that was created by Congress in 1970 called the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It's a dynamic law, and it can help you to legally, and I want to emphasize that, legally restore your credit almost in 30 business days. Okay, if the credit reporting agencies would just adhere to the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it can be done in a very timely fashion, and that is 30 business days. Unfortunately, the credit reporting agencies are investigating themselves, so that's why we have such a delay. And a lot of times people think that credit repair is a scam, when the real scam is being perpetrated through the credit reporting agencies. So just bear with people. I'm speaking for all the credit repair companies out there now. They are here to help you and to help you to expose the corruptness of the credit reporting agencies. And let me remind people, remember, this information does in fact belong to you. If it doesn't belong to you, then we tell people to file a police report. But we know that the information does belong to you, and that's in the nature of bankruptcies, late payments, tax liens, collections, inquiries, charge-offs, anything that negatively affects your credit. Then you should use the Fair Credit Reporting Act in removing it from your credit report. And the main premises is violation of due process. We know the information belongs to you, but we also know that the credit reporting agencies didn't adhere to the steps of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which was created by Congress in 1970. These laws protect consumers through what they call the violation of due process that's being violated by the credit reporting agencies. So, for instance, has the credit reporting agency contacted you prior to putting any information on your credit report? And let me answer that. Emphatically, no. They haven't, and they never will, because most of the time people just automatically assume, well, the information belongs to me, so therefore it gets to stay on the credit report. And that's totally false, totally wrong. And that's why a lot of times people file bankruptcy at the immediate inset of they have damaged credit, or they enter some type of debt consolidation or consumer credit counseling. I'm not saying those programs are bad.
Let me ask you a question here, okay? Because I understand everything you just said. Now, there's going to get to a point where somebody's back's against the wall and they got terrible credit and they're thinking about filing bankruptcy. Which is worse? Is it worse to have terrible credit? Is it worse to have filed bankruptcy?
No, it's better to file bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is the best way, but a lot of times I try to tell people, if you're not familiar with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which most people aren't, then they just immediately file bankruptcy. But if bankruptcy stays on your credit report for 10 years, but it does legally discharge your debt at the time and stops the creditors from harassing you. But the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which is a lot simpler, can do the same thing. Okay, a lot more inexpensive, and it's following the law, and you don't have to be plagued with 10 years of bad credit. Now, when I say bad credit, when you file a bankruptcy, that even though you've discharged your current credit, it's going to stay on your credit report for the next 10 years. And so all the lenders and the creditors are going to be able to see that, and it's going to still negatively impact your credit score. Using the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it's going to immediately delete that information, and there's going to be no record of it at all. So when the lenders look at you, they're going to think that you're pristine.
Now, what is the worst thing you can do for your credit? I mean, obviously not paying your bills, I understand that, but is there one thing that is just taboo? If you do this, then your credit is shot?
Well, one thing is not paying your bills on time, and the other thing is a lot of people don't know is maxed out credit cards, maxed out accounts, okay? Especially revolving credit cards. Do not max those out. Keep those at around 30% if you're trying to purchase a home, 50% otherwise. But don't max out your credit cards. If you do, within 30 days, get them back into perspective around the 30 to 50% range. So 30% if you're buying a home.
I've gotten rid of my credit cards a long time ago.
Got rid of them.
I got rid of my credit cards, and I have debit cards. You shouldn't be spending money that you don't have.
There
you know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Now, I don't know that many people with great credit. Okay, that's just real talk. Now, what is the importance of credit? Obviously, it's better to have a pristine credit. I understand that. But when you talk about taking out a loan, even if you have good credit in this day and age, aren't you going to have to put down some type of collateral? I mean, people in this day and age of, going through the banks, lending everybody and their mom, money way back when, and everything, going to the crapper, it's still hard to borrow money without actually having some kind of collateral.
Yeah, the collateral, some people use the word vernacular skin in the game. But if your credit is pristine, you can sometimes get competitive interest rates with no money down, with no money out of pocket. Is it good to go that way? It just depends on the circumstances. Just read the contract. Sometimes it is advantageous for you to take that route of no money down, but then other times they may be running some type of I call it a scam, where you're thinking that you're putting no money down. It's advantageous for you when it's not. So read that contract thoroughly, and if possible, get you an attorney to take a look at it prior to signing.
Now, if somebody has poor credit and they're looking to get a loan and they're trying to improve their credit quick, fast, in a hurry, is that even possible?
Yes, and using the Fair Credit Reporting Act, as I said earlier, it's kind of hit and miss with the credit reporting agencies because they're investigating themselves, but legally and ideally, when you place a dispute, the credit reporting agency has 30 business days to respond. That's equivalent to about 45 days. A lot of times people equate that to 30 days. But about 45 days, you should see a drastic change if you place those disputes correctly with the credit reporting agency. So I'd say that's the quickest legal way. Even a bankruptcy takes up to 90 days.
What's the best way to go look up your credit score?
Okay, there's a couple different websites, and I always like to tell people to use the free sites on the internet, but don't particularly pay attention to the credit score. You can use Annual Credit Report, Credit Karma, Credit Check Total does charge you and charge you $1 and gives you a 7-day trial. But all of these are okay. They have free credit report. I don't really recommend these other ones, but the first three, Credit Karma, Annual Credit Report, and Credit Check Total, the three that my clients usually have. But there's free credit report. There's a lot of them out there. And they don't impact your credit score by deducting points. It's not a hard inquiry, so it's a soft pull. A lot of times I get questions about that as well. But go to one of those three sites or any other site on the website, but don't pay that much attention to the score. The content is what any credit repair company or credit restoration company is concerned with. The content is usually accurate, but the scores are sometimes off. That's something that the industry's trying to correct. But right now, your truest score is going to come from the lender. So if you do use a free site, just keep in mind it could go 50 points in either direction.
Now, what content are they looking for? I mean, everybody looks at a credit score. They're going to look at the number, and then really you're not going to look at anything else. What other factors are relevant?
Right. Well, now as two ways of looking at it from the credit industry's perspective, we're looking at all the negative information on there, and we want to remove as much as possible. Now, what the lenders are looking for is, of course, a good payment history, low balances on credit cards that we talked about just earlier, Ian. So those are the two primary factors. What I say again, the low ratio, debt to income ratio on the credit cards, keep it about 30% when you're trying to buy a home, 50% otherwise, and then payment history. Do not go over 30 days. They give you 30 days to pay a bill. You can be up to 29 days late, and they cannot legally report it until you're 30 days late. So keep that in mind.
Did not know that.
Yeah. But sometimes lenders would try to throw it on there after their grace period of 5 to 10 days. They'll try to give you a 30-day late, but you can easily dispute that and have it corrected. They cannot put a 30-day late on there. Remember, 30-day late. So it's the 30, 60, and 90 days. So once it's passes 30 days, then they can put that negative mark on there. But otherwise, no. So client people out there, do not go over 29 days on a late payment.
Well, that's definitely good to know. We're talking to William Crowley, the credit man, the magician, and your company name is what?
National Credit Restoration Assistance. We do it in all 50 states.
Give me a good number for a credit. If I go in there, I see 600 is good.
No, that used to be good. Not anymore. You're probably looking at between a 750 to a 900 is where you want to be at.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I like to run a 4.2 as well, and I'm not sure if that's going to happen. This is Ian Beckles filling in for Mr. Brandon Rhymes, and don't go anywhere. We have an exciting show coming up, and we have Connor Keller that knows a little bit about insects or a lot about insects. I don't know a lot about them. I know I don't like them, and he likes them. And that's a good thing because he's going to take care of them. He's going to take care of our ecosystem and your house as well. So don't go anywhere. We're going to come up with Connor Keller, and we're going to have a lot of show left. So don't go anywhere. Ian Beckles filling in for Brandon Rhymes, and we'll be right back.
Once upon a time,
listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Once again, Ian Beckles here, filling in for Mr. Brandon Rhymes. He'll be back real soon. He's in Costa Rica hanging out and enjoying himself, probably on a hammock, and I completely understand. So let's flip the script a little bit. We have Connor Keller in the house. How are you doing today, brother?
Fantastic.
And your company's name is Insect IQ.
That's correct. It's Insect IQ and all Florida bee removal.
Okay. How did you get into insects, if I may ask?
Well, I certainly didn't grow up thinking I'm going to be the bug man.
Okay.
Actually, I was in the restaurant business for many years, restaurant manager in the end, got married, started having children, and that's not a very conducive environment to raise a family in. So started looking for something else to do and use that management experience to my advantage, and got a good job in a good industry. And I tell you one thing, there's certainly job security in Florida in the pest control business.
Well, I don't know that many people in the pest, and I'm sure there's a lot of different companies out there, big companies, small companies, but what sets your company apart from the other companies?
Well, first of all, we're owned and operated by a graduate entomologist from the University of Florida. Go Gators. So throw that in there.
My daughter's there right now.
Yeah. Spending your money, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. They're getting my money.
So, we are a small family-owned and operated company. We've been in business in the Tampa Bay area for over 20 years. Some features of doing business with Insect IQ. We are a paperless company, so we use technology to our advantage. We have customer retention software that has a mobile app, so the technicians have the internet there on their phone, so they can research insect ID, biology, and behavior. They're in communication to the office, to the customer. It really kind of has taken us to the next level, where a huge international company, just the capital to do something like that would be huge.
Paperless company, that's about the ecosystem. That's what's the most important thing.
Correct. Just like our pest management services, our corporate culture is a green, environmentally friendly culture. Everything we do, from going paperless to the products we buy to even the lighting in our office is really gone to that concept of green, eco-friendly.
Now, I heard before the show that you do some things almost holistically. Now, is that, I never heard of, insects and catching insects. So you actually, instead of getting rid of the bees, you're keeping the bees.
Sure. And that's a great, integrated pest management is the concept. And that concept was developed in agriculture, decades ago, to protect our food crops from insects without needlessly exposing us to pesticides. So we took those same concepts and apply it to urban pest management. That's really looking at avenues, sources, and conditions in and around the home and addressing those, so we don't have to constantly apply pesticides, whether it's needed or not.
What about roaches?
Well, roaches, honeybees, anything like that that's going to interact with human beings, it comes down to protecting your property, your health, and your food. And that concept applies to any type of insect.
Now, I've heard before that the bees have a big deal in our ecosystem. Explain that.
Well, they have a place in nature just like everything else, including us as humans. An unknown fact is bees are actually an invasive species. We brought them to North America from Europe. They did not exist prior to Europeans settling in North America. Of course, Indians, Native Americans, the people who were really here first, they had farming, they had agriculture, their crops were pollinated. There's dozens and dozens of different pollinators in Florida already. So to answer your question, bees are very important, but they're more important from a commercial agricultural standpoint than the environment.
Mm-hmm. Now, tell me, there's no practical use for mosquitoes, right? Because I hate mosquitoes.
Well,
you don't save mosquitoes.
No.
Okay, good. Kill them.
No, kill them all.
Kill the roaches too.
Yeah, kill the roaches.
Kill the roaches. Kill the mosquitoes. Yeah.
Yeah, believe it or not, there's even some honeybees we have to kill. We have Africanized honeybees in the state since 2001. They're widespread, very aggressive. Also, keep in mind, it only takes one sting to kill you if you're allergic to it.
Yeah,
so,
no doubt.
It's all about public safety, and we follow, of course, the Department of Agriculture's guidelines and anything we do.
Now, I find as Americans, we overreact about a lot of things, and then things could be the biggest thing in the world, whether it's bird flu or whatever. Zika came up that way to me because Zika was going to end our world, and now we don't hear about Zika anymore. What happened to Zika?
Well, Zika is still around. It's been around for hundreds of years. It's a virus that's transmitted or vectored by mosquitoes. The same thing as, let's say, dengue fever is another virus in that same family. Encephalitis. There's a malaria. There's a lot of diseases that are vectored or transmitted by mosquitoes biting one person, ingesting their blood, and then biting someone else. So the hype and the hysteria has gone away, but the disease is still there.
We're talking to Connor Keller from Insect IQ now. So you save the bees. So it's a bee estuary. Is that what they call it?
Apiary.
Apiary. Yes. So you have an apiary.
Yes, not to be confused with the birds.
Yeah. You have the whole garb with the mask and the whole outfit and everything.
Yes, we deal with that. Of course, any stinging insects or any dangerous insect, we wear the proper personal protection equipment. But in this case, with honeybees, wear full bee suits. Of course, we do live relocations. We do eradications in the case of diseased or Africanized honeybees. We relocate them to our apiary here in the Tampa Bay area and requeen and start new colonies.
Now, if you move the queen, everybody's coming with the queen.
Yes, the queens decide. So bees reproduce, all social insects reproduce and swarm. And right now, honeybees are swarming. We're getting dozens of calls every day. This is something homeowners will come across. You come home, you see a mass of honeybees resting on the side of your house. What do?
Run.
Exactly.
Yeah,
or call Insect IQ.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, you guys actually produce the honey as well.
We do. I'm not actually in honey production, so I do commercial honeybee removals from either commercial structures or residential structures in and around people. There's a whole other side of beekeeping, that honey production, and then, of course, commercial pollination as well.
So people talk about raw honey, and I don't know what the other end of the spectrum for raw honey is. What's the benefit of raw honey?
Well, so honey's a food, okay, and most food that you buy in the stores either pasteurized, it's treated in some way to kill bacteria, because that's a foodborne illness. This goes back to my restaurant days as well. And you can get very sick from foodborne illness. So I often get asked the question about, can you eat the honey out of the hive that I'm taking out of your house? Can I have the honey?
Can you?
No. So think about it this way. It would be like walking down the street and up to a dumpster and there's a perfectly wrapped Subway sandwich in there. But let's not talk Subway. Let's talk about Publix. Publix is
because I'm hungry. That's good.
Exactly. Yeah. It's in the dumpster, but it's in the wrapper. It's clean. Would you take that out and eat it?
George Costanza would.
Probably not. Maybe if you were like, what is it, the Grateful Dead? They used to go dumpster diving, I think, back in the day.
I did too.
Yeah, exactly. The point is, though, there's foodborne illness in honey as well. They say not to feed a raw honey to an infant under 2 years of age because it can cause botulism. So it is a food like anything else. So often, to answer your question, we pasteurize it, which is a heat treatment, or at the very least filter some of the what people would call impurities out of the honey. That's actually the best stuff for you. The enzymes, the pollen, those are the kind of things that show up in the honey that's raw and unfiltered. So if you have allergies or something along those lines, that's the honey you want to eat.
No, did they say that they found honey in like King Tut's tomb or something like that?
I've heard that before.
And so it won't spoil ever?
Yeah, so it's a perfect food. It gets crystallized, and if you have honey at home and crystals show up, it kind of gets a cloudy appearance. You can put it in a dish of warm water, and it heats it up and breaks down those crystals, but it never spoils.
Now, when I'm going to a fancy bougie restaurant and I get a charcuterie, and it has a little honeycomb on it, where are they getting that from? They're scraping it right off the side of the apiary. I don't know where that comes from.
Well, so in an apiary, you're going to have a beehive, a colony. It's a box, essentially, in layman's terms, and there's frames inside the box. The honeybees, the workers of the colony, build honeycomb on those frames, which is just a structure, a base. Some of the comb is used for reproduction or brood rearing. Some of the comb is used for honey or food production. And so they basically make the honey for food.
Wow. So how do you, other than doing stuff like this, how do you market what you do? Is it word of mouth? It's kind of hard to do social media about catching mosquitoes. I guess not. Everybody kind of needs it, though.
Well, the internet's probably our biggest source of leads. So our social media, of course, but also our search engine optimization. And generally, that's why we created the marketing site, allfloridabeeremoval.com. And that's a one call or statewide website that you can go to and request information about honeybee removal.
Now, fumigations, you guys do the whole tenting of houses? You do that, or is it mostly outside stuff you're doing?
No, we really do it all. That's one thing about Insect IQ is it's a one-stop shop. You can call us. We have experts that are experts in each field in pest control, and we can help you out. But as far as fumigations are concerned, we do fumigation for drywood termites and bed bugs. We haven't touched on bed bugs. That's a real problem.
See, I don't like bed bugs, bro. I see like videos and stuff, and they're mean looking things.
Yeah, I've recently completed several fumigations for bed bugs this week.
And what creates bed bugs?
So bed bugs are human parasites, much like mosquitoes, like ticks, like fleas. We're their food source, our blood, and they've adapted over time to live in and around human structures. They're hitchhikers. They follow us from one place to the next. They're not going to crawl out of the mulch outside. You're bringing them into a structure, and then they just live to feed on us.
And they live on moisture. They live because they could tear you up at night when you're sleeping.
They live on blood.
They live on blood.
They're vampires.
Blood-sucking son of a guns. I tell you what, I don't trust none of them. I've seen them real close up with some of them bed bugs, and they look almost as mean as a bat.
Oh yeah, they're ugly.
And nothing's meaner than a bat. That's real mean. Anyways, let's take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and freestyle a little bit, talk about this and that. Maybe we'll talk about bugs, and we'll talk about credit lines and some other things as well. You know, I'm sure you guys know more than that. Don't go anywhere. Ian Beckles filling for Brandon Rhymes. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hi, I'm Jerry from Hot Locks Hair Salon. We are conveniently located at 13414 US Highway 19 in Hudson. I've been a local hairstylist in our community for the last 34 years, 7 of which I was an educator. Our passion is the artistry of hair, and Hot Locks is here to help you achieve your perfect image. You can call us at 727-514-9978.
Hi, my name is Joe Stalteri. I'm one of the owners of Complete Care Systems. At Complete Care Systems, we do carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning, tile and grout cleaning, tile and grout sealing, wood floor and laminate floor deep cleaning, as well as stripping and waxing of linoleum and vinyl floors, and a whole lot more. We also run daily deals and special, which you can find at CompleteCareSystems.com, or simply call Trisha up at 727-364-5158, and she'll answer all your questions and give you over the phone free estimates. Or she'll send me out to your home or office to give you an on-site free estimate. At Complete Care Systems, we don't cut corners, we clean them.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, you guys missed a lot of conversations, and we're talking some hillbilly ghetto type stuff for people eating possums and raccoons and stuff like that, but we'll definitely get back to that. I like to represent local products, and I have a big event that's coming up April 21st. It's brought to you by True Leave, which is legal medical cannabis. Look them up, True Leaf. They're kind of the king on the block right now. We have an event coming up April 21st. It's Flavor of Tampa Bay. It's going to be a local music, art, and food festival. 100% local. It's a free admission. It's over there at the Cheval Country Club by the driving range. So we have a nice big stage out there. We're going to have some local bands. Jason Beeler, Pitbull Toddler, Infinite Eights. Lovely Sonia Bryson will be doing the anthem. And it's going to be a good time. A lot of dignitaries out there. There's going to be a Tito's VIP section. If you want a ticket to the VIP section, you go to flavoroftampabayfest.com. That's flavoroftampabayfest.com. And you get all the Tito's and all the food that you want to eat from noon to 10 o'clock. So you want to take advantage of that. Now, we like to give love to our local companies out there, and I know Brandon does as well. I'm actually sipping on some of this Nitro Brew from Made Coffee, product that I just got exposed to, and you drink some of this and you won't be able to sleep till next Wednesday. So it's good stuff. Nitro Coffee made by Made Coffee, so check them out. Now, let's get back to messing around with credit. Your company name is what?
National Credit Restoration Assistance.
National Credit Restoration Assistance. So now, if somebody said to you, like I said, what sets you apart from everybody else? What sets you apart from everybody else?
Excellent. The first thing is the name. Most of the time, people refer themselves as credit repair. We like to refer to ourselves as credit restoration assistance because we do an enhanced form of credit repair. Like I had mentioned earlier, we use the Fair Credit Reporting Act to go after the negative information on the credit report. And as I've said for many years, I guess over 20 years now, never ever pay a collection. Where traditional credit repair companies, they sometimes guide you to pay a collection. Mm-hmm. Even if it's removed off the credit report, a collector's still going to come after you for the debt. We issue what they call validation of debts to collectors. We tell our clients, once again, never ever pay a collector, never ever ignore a collector. And the way that happens is that the original creditor charges the debt off, usually after 90 to 180 days of inactivity or non-payment on your behalf. When the original creditor charges the debt off, it legally releases you of any financial obligation to the debt as well. Most consumers don't know that. And that's what we do. That's what differentiates us from your traditional credit repair companies, because we'll go after the collectors by removing them off the credit report like the traditional credit repair companies do. But an additional step is we would use a validation of debt to challenge the collector. The collector has no jurisdiction once the original creditor charges the debt off. They're buying the debts for pennies on the dollar, and they're preying on your ignorance to pay this debt that you do not owe. So don't pay them, don't ignore them, issue a validation of debt.
A lot of people are preying on ignorance out there, and they've been doing it for many, many years. And the problem with us, as not just Americans, just people in general, we know what we do. And, I'm the same way. People give me contracts all the time. I look at them and it literally looks like it's in Yugoslavia and I can't read it. And we get duped a lot as people, and it's unfortunate. Now, Connor Keller from Insect IQ, we were talking about bats and raccoons and
dinner.
Yeah. So bats themselves, I know that bats are good. They eat insects.
Correct.
As far as I know, I find them terrifying. Now, you actually have to go catch bats. I mean, have you physically caught bats yourself?
So it's actually against the law
To catch a bat?
to catch a bat.
Period.
Federally protected.
So you can't
Can't molest them in any way.
and nobody can.
No.
So wait a minute. Whoa. So if a bat's in my house, I can't touch him?
Well,
He
you
better
can
not
do
be in
whatever
my
you
house.
want in your own house.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't hire me to come in and touch.
So yeah.
Now, I have physically removed bats from houses. There are circumstances, but as a general rule, we take advantage of their biology and behavior. They have to leave the house every night to feed.
Oh jeez.
So they drop out of certain areas, and a good bat removal company will do a thorough, comprehensive inspection and survey and identify all of these areas. And then we basically install one-way doors so they can drop out, but they're not able to get back in. We evict them, issue eviction notice, except we don't give them a 7-day notice. We do it the same day. Put up one-way doors and get them out, and then seal everything else up. It is a 7 to 10-day process from start to finish.
Okay, well, this is what's going to happen. I'm not even a gun person, but if there's a bat in my house, I'm going to go back to Tupac. I'm putting my fofo, going to make sure none of your kids going to grow. And I promise you that at the end of that day, there's going to be a bat out of my house.
The real problem with bats is their guano, their feces,
They
basically.
do, yeah.
Yeah, as that builds up, there's a mold that grows in that guano that produces a spore that can give you disease as well. And it's an inhalation hazard. So by inhaling those mold spores,
Yeah.
you can get histoplasmosis and other types of respiratory diseases.
Well, Jim Carrey ate it, and when nature's called, nothing happened to him.
Well, it's a mold spore.
Is it
so,
a mold
yeah.
spores? Yeah, he didn't look like he enjoyed it too much. That good old guano. Now, I said this once on air, and somebody corrected me. I said that bats are blind. Are bats blind?
No, they have limited vision. They're mammals. Their physiology is a lot like humans. They say like their wings are much like our hands in their bone structure and skin, but they communicate and navigate by echolocation.
Well, I've seen
Sound.
bats fly through trees in my neighborhood, and they don't touch a leaf.
Well, if you go out at night and you see bats flying around, you throw a ball up in the air, they're attracted to that movement, and just like they would be to a mosquito flying by, so
Really?
they'll fly right at it.
Oh no, I don't want them to track them. No.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, how do you repel bats? I don't want to attract them.
Well, the best approach is to make sure your house or the structure you want to keep them out of is completely sealed up, not only for bats but any kind of animals, rodents, rats, raccoons. We were talking about. Those are better for dinner.
Well, but you guys keep on talking about William. William, you said raccoons, possums. Where you from, bro? What part of the sticks are you from?
Hey, Tulsa Springs, Missouri.
Yeah, you guys eat possums over there. Now, you really like possum?
Oh yeah, possum and raccoon.
Now,
It tastes like chicken.
yeah. Well, John's a hillbilly too over here. I had possum one time,
Greasy,
and
right?
somebody said, "What does possum taste like?" You know, my answer is, just like it looks.
It's slimy.
Whatever a possum looks like, it tastes like that. And the same day, this young lady was cooking chitlins.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Thank God that the chitlin smell took over from the possum smell, because that was a funky house. You like chitlins too, don't you?
I love them.
Oh my goodness!
Hog mogs and chitlins, buddy.
Yeah, there's so many other parts of the pig that are good. Like you don't have no pork chops. You know, once you have a pork chop, you don't want chitlins no more. You still eat chitlins?
No, I still love them.
Really?
But it got to be cooked right. They're hard to find them cooked right.
Yeah, they're usually cooked right if you keep them in the supermarket. they're going to be cooked right that way, because once again, like a pork butt and a pork shoulder to me is a fantastic
A little bit
thing.
of paradise.
Yeah, man.
That's
you know,
what I'm talking about.
Once you get around that, you
Throw
know,
that in the smoker and it's on.
yeah. Do you smoke?
Oh yes, I smoke.
You look
yeah.
like you look like you got some passion in your eye, my friend.
Loving the smoke.
Yeah, you got a big green egg.
No, I do not. I'm old school. I like the old barrel indirect smokers, and got a big old pile of hickory in my backyard.
A smoker's a smoker, bro.
Where's he from?
Oh, I'm a fourth generation Floridian.
Good for you.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
So
Now-
we used to call this field stew, where anything we shot out in the field, we put in a pot with some potatoes, carrots, and onions.
Yeah.
Boil that stuff down, and
You take the skins off them first, or you just eat the skins too?
that's the best part.
That's the best part.
That's where all the,
Holy cow.
That's that real old school,
Oh, yeah.
you know, in the bush type stuff. Now, I like to smoke myself.
I know
I've you listen
oh,
before?
yeah, definitely.
Okay, I
know you.
like that. There's certain people know about me as, and I like to be in the backyard, smoking whatever meat's out there. Actually, I just bought a food truck that has a big old smoker on it,
Oh, that's
and
sweet.
I've been kind of messing with it lately, and I'm pretty excited about that. It's like a big old toy.
That's a dream.
You get for Christmas,
That's
you
a
know.
dream.
So we have a headquarters that we have over there on West Shore and Gandy, and we're going to kind of turn it into like a local product mecca. So if anybody has any local products out there, it really doesn't matter what it is. We're going to really push the local products, and you can get in touch with me on social media. That is at Ian Beckles. Now, you said you do social media. What is your handle for social media?
we have a Facebook page. It's Facebook/InsectIQ. We have Instagram and Snapchat as well. You can go, basically the best way is go to insectiq.com, and there's links to all our social media there.
Very nice. And you have somebody doing that for you on a consistent
We
basis?
do.
It's
in-house.
important.
It's very.
It's very important. Now, what about you, William, and the social media? You guys have a handle for social media?
Yeah, I've got a marketing agent, Macintosh Marketing, that handles all that. I know I've got a Facebook page. It's called Bad Credit History Repaired. I just started Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. Oh,
There you go.
can you hear me okay? What I think you're telling me to get closer
There
to the
you
mic.
go.
But anyway, yeah, we're on Facebook, Instagram. and what's the other LinkedIn? Yeah, so but I don't know much about
There's
it. I just know
Twitter.
Marketing.
YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube's
set all that
another
up
big
for
one.
us.
Now we have a
YouTube's a
great
big deal,
YouTube
too.
I have
channel.
a YouTube channel. Yep, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
So what do you do in a YouTube channel?
Videos, man. So we did a yellow jacket nest in the Ocala National Forest a couple years ago. The thing was like 7-8 feet tall.
People love that
4 or
stuff.
5 feet wide.
Yeah.
Yes. So we set up video cameras around it and then took a weed whacker to it just to show you what would happen.
Yeah.
It was on. The whole
what
sky
happened?
turned black. Venom was dripping down the camera lens. Go check it out.
Venom was dripping down
Oh,
the
yeah.
camera lens.
Yellow jackets don't mess around.
Yeah, I mean they've killed many of people, right?
Like I said, it only takes one sting to kill you if you're allergic. So, but
Yeah.
I think they say 500 stings from a bee or yellow jacket's equal to a rattlesnake bite.
Really?
Right.
I'm not messing with that. Now, when you get attacked by a bunch of bees like that, it doesn't have anything to do with the queen. If one bee attacks you, is it kind of a feel that they all feel? I'm not sure.
They're just defending their colony. So that's a big difference. You asked about this European and Africanized honeybees. European honeybees, a dozen or so guard bees will come out and chase you away, but as soon as you get away from the colony, they're done. Africanized honeybees, they're going to chase you until the sun goes down.
I got bit once by an African penguin
Oh, wow.
at the zoo. Yeah. At the zoo, yeah. Well, they have them, and I go, I'm not going in there. He's going to bite me. And the lady goes, they don't bite. I walk in there and he just clamp down on my calf. So that's my life, and I'm really scared of most wild animals, and I don't trust any of them. I don't trust a lot of bugs either. Anyways, don't go anywhere. We have one more segment when we come back with William and Connor. This is Ian Beckles filling in for Mr. Brandon Rhymes. We'll be right back on the Computer Quarterback Show.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation, visit Pasco County, Florida.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Once again, Ian Beckles hanging out here because Brandon Rhymes is in Costa Rica chilling the most, and I'm not mad at him. I've been there a couple of times, and it's pretty darn chill there. So once again, congratulations for Brandon for marrying his lovely wife now, Lindsay, and he'll come back a different man, probably with a few more gray hairs. But that's what happens. Now we're still talking about food during break, and food is a thing that brings everybody together. That's just what happens. I have a show on 102.5 The Bone every morning from 5 to 6, and I also have a show on Saturday with Ray Lampe, who is Dr. Barbecue, and the sole spokesperson for Big Green Egg, which I've been involved with for a long time. So I'm always in the quest for wonderful food around the Bay Area. So I always like to pick people's brains, some of their secret spots. Now, do you have Carter? Do you have any secret spots? And I don't want to hear like Carrabba's. That's okay
for barbecue.
Yeah, but just period. Like if you have a hole in the wall type joint, or somewhere that maybe I haven't heard. Those are the kind of things that I want.
Well, I like Holy Hog. That's my favorite barbecue in the area.
I enjoy Holy Hog too. Yeah. This is about Holy Hog. Listen, it's kind of a franchise, right. Kind of. It's local. They have a couple things that are absolutely fantastic. They had beef ribs, and you can't get beef ribs very often, and they have great beef ribs, and they took them off the menu.
Yeah.
On Henderson, I cried for a little bit.
The burn-ins.
The burn-ins are good.
Too expensive?
No, they took them. I don't know. Probably too expensive, or not enough people were buying them. Or
really,
I don't know. But you can't find beef ribs too many places in restaurants. Unfortunately.
So I'm kind of a connoisseur of barbecue myself.
I love to hear that.
Regional barbecue, you know, and I've struggled to find an identity for Florida barbecue. Georgia barbecue kind of spills over.
Well said.
But
like I think it's like that with quite a bit of food here in Florida. Identity-wise, if you think food, Florida, you think Cuban sandwiches,
true,
red beans and rice type of thing. But everybody kind of has a barbecue identity. I'm not sure that we've adopted one yet. Plant City, Smoking Aces.
That's good.
That's
Love that
real
good.
good.
What about Step and Southern Soul in Dade City?
I've never been there. You got that from John.
I did.
But anybody that has raccoon on the menu, I don't know about all that. Is it?
I don't know either.
I don't know. Do you have any restaurants that you frequent? Like you go out to eat a lot?
I go to one barbecue spot down in Dunedin.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the exact address, but that's pretty good. It's a small place, small.
Bike path.
That's it, right by the bike.
By the bike path.
Yeah, right there by the bike trail.
There you go.
You know what's that then, huh? Okay. That's pretty good, right, John?
Well, we don't know the name, but whoever owns the barbecue place by the bike path on Dunedin, you don't need a name. That's where you go.
Oh, it's
you
good.
go to Dunedin and take a left at the bike path, and you're right there.
Sometimes the best barbecue is the little stand on the side of the road.
No doubt.
Yeah, that one is.
That's what I'm saying.
When I was in Philadelphia for a couple of years, when I was playing with the Eagles, you would go to like a little even like a food truck, a little silver food truck, and get a cheesesteak at one of those, and it was just absolutely amazing. And I think Tampa's starting to turn into that. It's not really a food truck area because there's nowhere they can really congregate and know that a bunch of people are going to go there. But there's a lot of really good food truck, different styles out there. And Tampa's coming up, as a restaurant area. There's not that many franchises that aren't already here.
Right.
And you said you grew up here, right?
Yeah, it's in Orlando, but
sure,
the same area, same thing. Yeah.
Like in 1990 when I was here, my rookie year with the Bucks, and we were over there on Boy Scout Boulevard, and we would come out from One Buck Place, which is now International Plaza.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where One Buck Place used to be. Actually, International Plaza used to be a driving range.
Oh, nice.
And Hall of Fame golf course way back when. When you turn on Boy Scout, there would be absolutely no restaurants there. You'd have to wait to get all the way on Dale Mabry. Now you're going to pass 30 restaurants before you get to Dale Mabry.
High-end restaurants.
Yeah, high-end restaurants, absolutely.
When you play Ian back in the 50s or something?
Yeah, it was. I played from 57 to 65, and I played with Newt Rockney in them. But I look good for my age, don't I?
Oh, yeah.
I look pretty darn good for my age. No, I played early 90s with like Vinny Testaverde and those guys way back when. And seems like a long time ago, and it's turning into a long time.
Oh, yeah.
When you think that 1990 was 30 years, it's a long time ago, yeah.
Eli's is the restaurant.
Who's that?
Eli's is the name of the restaurant.
Eli's.
By the bike trail.
Okay.
Eli.
So
E-L-I. Yes, right, John? Okay.
E-L-I apostrophe S.
Eli, E-L-I apostrophe S, and I'm going to go check them out.
Oh, yeah.
Open on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay, only open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, which makes it a little intriguing, but not less appealing. That's good. We're going to definitely go check that out. So what other style food do you enjoy eating?
Oh, man, seafood, and I eat it, really. I love food.
Yeah?
I love seafood,
Just
of course.
in general?
Yeah, seafood of all kinds. I like cooking. That's the thing. Is a passion of mine is to cook, and I like entertaining and serving my food to other people. That's
Me
the
too.
big thing.
That's the thing when you're out there. You're gonna say slaving, but I really enjoy cooking in general. Like it's just my release, you know. But eating your own food is great. But seeing other people enjoy it, I think that's what it's all about.
That's the biggest pleasure for me, for
entertaining and having people say this is good and they come back for some more. I have chefs at my house sometimes, like literally like baller chefs.
Right.
So sometimes that's a little extra, pressure. It's like you're singing for Paul McCartney or something like that, and when you get a nod, it goes a long way.
Feels good.
Yeah. When Ray Lampe said, this chicken is good. Yeah. Like, how many different chickens has he eaten?
He's a doctor.
Yeah, he's a doctor. Exactly. He has a certificate on his wall. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to get that recognition as well. Now, young man, are you like to cook over there, or you just like to go out and entertain? What do you do?
No, I can't stand cooking. I just go out. Yeah, I just go out to places like Eli's.
How do you stay so darn thin and fit, and you eat hella candy?
Oh yeah,
hella
candy.
candy.
I still work out. I'm 57 years old. And I still work out.
You're how much?
57, baby.
Wow.
Racquetball, long distance running, and what else? Racquetball, long distance running, and cycling. That's it. I got to stay up for you.
You are 57?
Oh, 57, yeah, baby.
I would have said there's no way you were older than me. I'm 50. I would have said there's no way you're older than me. Yeah, I am a baby for 57. But you know what, though? It's inspiring, though. It's inspiring, though. Now, I'm not going to run. That's a fact. I still do work out.
Cycle though. That's what's his name? Played for the Baltimore Ravens.
Ray Lewis.
Yeah, he cycled.
Listen, bro, I taught spin for 15 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
there you go.
I just now stopped because I'm working in the morning now on radio. But I literally taught spin for 15 years. I put on more Caucasian young ladies to hip hop music than anybody else in the history of the South Tampa.
Really? Now, what's the difference between spinning and cycling? Just more dangerous cycling?
It's a huge difference. Like, really? I'll take a cyclist. Like, if you're a cyclist, okay? You cycle every day.
Well, not every day, but I cycle.
I promise you, we go inside on a bike, you won't whoop me. It's just a different feel. Really? I'm more built for a stationary bike. It's about power and grinding, but when you get out there, it's a little bit more endurance, Yeah. I'm not really, like, I could get on a bike on the road and still do all right. But I'm really built for a stationary bike.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, but you gotta take a spin class. You know what? Plus, it's rhythmic, which is cool. You got great music if the teacher's right.
Yeah.
And like music is my thing. I DJ as well. Oh, so like, I'll put some music on somebody. Like I'll mix Little River Band with some Ghostface Killer.
Oh, there you go.
Absolutely. I don't, Wu-Tang, you know what I mean? So you got to keep it light and have a good time and grind. Listen, hard work is part of what I've done my whole life. And I could say that you can't have done what I did without the hard work because that just doesn't work like that.
Right.
There's some people that have enough ability to get there, but to stay, it takes a little bit extra.
So you're not doing it at all no more? Spinning.
Well, I don't spin now. I mean, I could easily get back. If I jumped on a bike, I'd be fine. I just don't teach anymore. But, I still go to, Crunch Fitness and you jump on the Stairmaster.
Right.
I got a good lift today at the Prep of South Tampa. So I do a lot of Tabata workouts. You ever do a Tabata workout? Look it up. Tabata. It's 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. And you keep on cycling it for 6 to 8, sets. Take a minute rest and then go do another exercise. Try it.
20 seconds on?
20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Just do this next time you go on a workout. Do 8 sets of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off with the bar and curl it. Right. So you're always trying to get as many reps as you can. By the end, you're going to want to throw the bar. That bar is going to get heavier than anything you've ever seen before. So actually, Erin Stern, a former Miss Olympia, I met her once at the Powerhouse Gym, and I said, I need a workout, to cut fat and, get toned up. And she says, look up Tabata. I looked it up, and I've been doing it ever since. You could do a 30-minute workout, and you're going to be sweating like you never sweated before.
T-A-B-A-T-A?
T-A-B-A-T-A, Tabata. Okay. And what makes it beautiful is you just go to your phone, or trusty phone that we can't live without, and you go to apps. I don't have a Tabata app, and you can literally put it in your headphones, and it'll go beep, 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 and tell you when to go and when to stop. So that's something I'm going to give to everybody, and I'm not even going to charge you guys for it. See that? We appreciate you, William Crowley. Thank you, brother. People want to get in touch with you. How they get that done?
Reach me at, I'll give my phone number out there.
Go ahead, yeah.
All right, 727-798-3092. And 727-798-3092. And then the email is creditman47@yahoo.com.
And you, Connor, real quick?
Got 855-930-BUGS. That's 855-930-2847, or, of course, always at insectiq.com.
Good stuff. I appreciate both of you guys. Have a great week, and I appreciate filling in for Mr. Rhymes. Have a great day, and please be safe. Peace out.
You've been listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372.